Hello, hello, welcome back, bienvenue. Yes, I'm a little bit sunburned, but that's not why we're here today. We're here today to talk about the fact that Burnham went a little bit more than crazy during the pandemic lockdown, and we can all relate.
It's a beautiful day to stay inside.
Burnham is one of those few people that I look up to, both literally and figuratively. He's one of the OG YouTubers, somebody who used the platform to launch themselves into bigger and better things. And I've loved every second of it. He disappeared from doing live performances for 5 years, and due to something that I'm all too familiar with, he's been having panic attacks on stage, which, as you can imagine, is not ideal. But he also took the time to move on to other projects, ones that didn't necessarily make him the focus. He wasn't necessarily front and center. Plus, he took the time to really take care of his mental health, which is admirable. In fact, at the beginning of 2020, he was starting to toss around the idea of getting up and performing again because he was doing better. And then we all know what happened. So that definitely forced him to reevaluate his options of what he could actually do in this time and place. And I gotta say, there probably wasn't a lot. But instead of letting himself wallow in his isolation as his mental health slowly deteriorated and spiraled out of control, he did what any old YouTuber would do. He filmed it. Inside is a masterpiece of mishmashed musical comedy and bleak introspection. It's glorious, it's terrifying, and I love it! The listless, monotonous daily ritual of trying to find purpose amidst bouts of helplessness, anger, and self-loathing. This isn't your average comedy special. There is no audience. There is nobody to combat. There is nobody to play against. It's just one man alone in the room having a breakdown. Humor is subtle, and at points, almost non-existent. You will laugh at the absurdity of his on-brand social satire and witty commentary. But there are also moments that will make you cringe. That make you tear up at the raw emotional descent into madness and despair that leaves you reeling, but doesn't slow down to let you catch a breath. How much of this is an act? And how much of it is real? Are we really watching somebody have a slow breakdown? Or is this just pure comic genius at work? It's difficult to say. It's probably a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. You have to remember that first and foremost, Bo is a performer, an entertainer. An artist is always present in their work, so nothing is out of the realm of possibility. Inside is a self-portrait. It forces him back into this time where he was a vlogger inside a small room talking to the empty nothingness of a camera. There is no instant gratification, there is no validation. Just take after take, trying to find those perfect little bits to edit together. I liken it to a dissociative meltdown. Forced to turn on himself, to tear apart his own career, to mock the very internet culture that created him. Inside makes you question everything. How essential are we? I mean, what lies do we tell ourselves? Do we even really think for ourselves? Most people are probably going to focus on the extremely well choreographed parent self-awareness and the dense lyrics and the absolute absurdity of the world. But what I appreciate is the performative acceptance of oneself. The self-loathing, the depression, the anxiety. The point of this special wasn't really to highlight the struggle that we've all faced this year with mental health and what's been robbed of us. But at the same time, it's relatable. I feel Bo's plight. He's slowly regressed and lost all ground he gained. I can't speak for Bo, but it's probably not all that dissimilar to my own situation. Having lost all of the work that I went into bettering myself mentally. I've struggled with mental illness almost my entire life. But now there is so much more of the population struggling, and I hate that. I hate that people have to live with the same daily struggle that I do every day because I know how crushing that pain is. And it's not something I would wish on even the worst person I know. The theme of how can you tell a joke at a time like this is a constant throughout the special. But honestly, tell me, where is the joke? Not only does this special perfectly encapsulate the last year of our lives, but also the uncertainty, isolation, fear, regret, and the weight of privilege. Inside needs to be on your watch list. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you'd like to help me create future content, check out my Patreon.
Is this like an escape the room? Or, okay. So I can cry. So he's not happy about being in this room.